Hello and welcome back to season 8. The All-Stars are taking over. Woo, woo. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Zach Hamill. I am from the season 5 cast, and we are from the previous seasons, including one Beachbody Challenge finalist, Aisha. Woo! Check out those guns.
They're away.
We are so
put 'em
honored
away.
tonight to be your substitute teachers, and more than that, to bring you some truth and some wisdom and a little gentle butt kicking and other nuggets that we've picked up from Carmen, but also from our continued health journeys as well. And before we get started, let's jump on the scale and see how you did last week.
Bev at 190 point.
Nisha. Iris Alvarado.
Take 3, Amber, 160.6.
39.6.
18 Thomas 236.8.
210.4.
Emily, 139.2.
In ninth place, with a total of 10.2 pounds lost at 4.62%, Scholar.
Hey.
In eighth place, with a total of 16.6 pounds lost at 4.66%, Nakia.
Hey.
In seventh place, with a total of 9 pounds lost at 5.31%, Amber.
Hey.
At sixth place, with a total of 17.2 pounds lost, 8.24%, Bev.
Yeah.
In fifth place, 21.3 pounds lost, 8.27%, ATN.
Woo.
In fourth place, with 20 pounds lost at 9.17%, Nisha. In third place, with 22.3 pounds lost, 9.42%, Iris. In second place, with 18.4 pounds lost, 11.67%, Emily. And in first place, with a total of 39.2 pounds lost, 17.25%, Brett.
Woo.
And the total lost by the group in 10 weeks is 174.2 pounds. That is like a whole person, guys. That is amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
We are also celebrating some new decades this week. Brett is in the 180s. Nakia is in the 330s. And Emily is in the 130s. And several others of you are super close to new decades. So let's keep going. Let's keep moving. Congratulations, guys. So how do we keep going? How do we keep moving? How do we keep achieving these weight loss goals, these fitness goals, these lifestyle goals? We follow the plan. We follow the plan, we follow the plan, we follow the plan. And I can tell you concretely, and from my own experience, what happens when you follow the plan. And what is the plan? This plan, not your plan, not anybody else's plan, Carmen's plan, this plan. The way I understand it is this, and I say this because I just had to go back to it. I just had to go back to doing all of the things. As someone who achieved my goal in the program, I enjoyed some summer and fell into some bad habits, and I'm getting back into it, and I'm feeling good because the plan worked.
Hello. So many of you I've not had the pleasure of meeting yet. My name is Afia Perkins, and I was in season 5. Zach and Heather are my illustrious counterparts, and Aisha Felder is a very, very dear friend of mine. So I've lost about 50 pounds, and I'm going to talk to you all tonight about the fact that you can do hard things. I'm going to focus on 3 numbers: 14.67, 43, and 1. Any idea what those numbers mean? Anybody? Okay. There are 43 quintillion combinations to solve a Rubik's Cube. The fastest time to do it was in 14.67 seconds. Actually, that record has just been broken. Somebody did it in like under 5 seconds. All to get to one solution. Has anybody ever tried to solve a Rubik's Cube? How many people have succeeded? Let me look. Okay, it's hard, right? It's insurmountable. My son has done it, and the way he did it, he had to study a book. He took a whole semester in a gifted program that taught them how to solve a Rubik's Cube. It's hard. All of you have taken the first step. You signed up for this program. You decided to do something that millions of people have never done. They've never committed to changing their life. They've never committed to losing weight. They've never fallen down and continued to get back up on a journey that we've all signed up for. It is hard. The opposite of mediocrity is doing hard things. Each and every one of you were chosen by Carmen because she believed that you can do hard things. You can drink your gallon of water. You can eat within your window. You can eat your containers. You can work out for 30 minutes. You can kick your dog out of your office on live television. Go. You can do hard things. So now he's taking his toy. Too bad he didn't bring my Rubik's Cube in here like I asked my 12-year-old to. But I want to encourage you all. This is tough. I've been in this journey for over a year. I've lost over 50 pounds. I've gained 10 pounds back. I've lost another 10. I've gained 5 back. It's hard, but I will never, ever, ever stop because I can do hard things. I have a goal. I will reach my goal. I have a village of people around me. You have a village of people around you. You can do hard things. I encourage you, whether it's 43 pounds, whether it's 14.67, I encourage you to keep number 1, yourself at the forefront because you were chosen and you can do hard things.
It's my turn. Hi, my name is Heather Noggle, and I was in season 5 with Zach and Afia. And man, when Carmen asked me to be in the All Stars, I was like, what? Don't you mean somebody else? Don't you mean anybody else? It could have been this person or that person. Anyway, I have the honor of speaking to you about success. And I've been on Facebook for over 15 years. And no, it'll be 15 years next month. Can y'all believe we've been on Facebook for 15? Like what? Some of y'all younger than me might have been on longer because you were in college then, but I had young children. And throughout the years, I have quoted some different success quotes. So I just went to my own Facebook today and did a search for success. And I did a couple of screenshots. And I want to tell you a couple of things that I saw. I'm going to show them to you. I did screenshots. This one says, it says, don't quit, but it also says, do it. It says, you got this. Don't stop believing. You are awesome. When you feel like quitting, think about why you started. When you think about quitting, think about why you started. Go back and watch your 3-minute video that you had to turn into Carmen to get into this program. Don't quit. Keep going. You know, one of the things, and it was just something that I said, nothing succeeds like success. And my topic tonight is actually the problem with success is a little bit of it. You know, some of the folks in my season would get to Monday and they've done their way in and they're like, phew, I made it through the week. I made it through the weekend. I've lost some weight. Now I've had some success. It's time to go eat Tres Leches cake from Chewy's. I never did that. I always got the queso instead. Here's the thing. My other topic is your mindset. So if our thing tonight is the problem with success is a little bit of it, I want you to think about how you think about success. I want you to listen to what you're saying. Carmen teaches us that the power of life and death is in the tongue. I like to tell the people in my program, we think, say, do. You think it, you say it, you do it. And not even always in that order. Sometimes you got to play a little trick on your thinker with your sayer or your doer. Sometimes you got to do the thing before you can believe the thing, before you can say the thing, if you took success and you took the think and the say and the do and you made a Venn diagram out of it, do you know what it would look like? Almost a perfect circle. It would almost be a circle because they're that close. They overlap that much. It's not perfect, but it's really close. All right. This one says, things do not just happen. Things are made to happen. What things are we trying to do here? What are we trying to do here? I never did truly set a goal. I started at 265.6 pounds and I was just for kicks and giggles. I was like, let me get down to exactly half of that, 132.8. I never did get down to 132.8. I'm 5'6". I could get down to 132.8, but I don't think it would be a good look for me. This process is hard, but I want to tell you some things that were harder before I decided that a little bit of success wasn't enough. And that if I quit, I would eventually go back to. I would eventually, one by one, get back on 8 medications that I don't take anymore, including my nebulizer that I was using 6 or 7 times a day. I have not used my nebulizer since October 5th of 2022. Most of that is due to the fact that I lost 100 pounds. I would probably have to have both of my knees redone. My parents both had both of their knees redone. One of my parents did the physical therapy the way they were supposed to. One of my parents did not. They're in their 70s now. Their lives are not as easy as my 70s are going to be. I'm just going to say it. I am an intimacy coach. Sex was never off the table, but man, is it more fun now. It's just better. It's just more fun. I call it playtime. Playtime is fun time. And playtime got more fun when it was easy to move your body a little bit easier. Just everything in my life is easier. I've started to have people come up to me in public and say, I've been paying attention to you and you have motivated me. And I've seen you walking down 16th Street. It's easier to do the things I had to do because I see you doing them. I did not set out to be a good example to anybody, but because I talk about it, people have started changing their lives. So I ran into my neighbor today who gave me zucchini the other day. He said, how much are you up to walking now? And I was like, I didn't even know he knew I was walking. I'm up to 4 miles a day. He's lost 90 pounds. I've lost 100 pounds. I did not expect this to be a side effect of a little bit of success growing into more success. But I'm telling you right now, we're here not to just change our own lives, but to be an example to the people around us, and you can do it. And I'm going to tell you one more, one more screenshot that I took today. And I don't know if you can read it. That's my cat. What the heck just happened? Hold on. Can you see this? Nope. Oh, the light's wrong. All right, I'll just have to read it to you. This is a post from September of 2020. I'm pretty sure the biggest transformation hadn't started yet. And I had taken a training, and this person said, take quitting off the table, and the only thing left is success. Smarter, not harder. You know who said that? Carmen O'Quinn. Carmen O'Quinn said, take quitting off the table, and the only thing left is success. You get to think about what you think about, and then you get to choose what you think. You get to choose it. So I'm going to encourage you to become a holla back girl, right? So the song says, I ain't no holla back girl, but I'm telling you to do it. Catch yourself in a thought where you think it's too hard, or I can do it my way, or I didn't need to do that today because I did it twice yesterday. No, holler back at that voice and tell her to sit down and be quiet, because you know you are eating towards your goals. You get to work out so that it's easier to move around. You get to, after 35 years of not running, go out on a day that's not very hot and freaking run. You can do that. I was telling myself, yeah, I follow all these guys that are on the internet, and you know, running fitness dude, he's fun, but you know, he's 32 years old and has a body mass index of like, you know, 20, right? And then I thought, no, I turned that thought around and I said, what's he got that I don't have? He's got 2 legs with feet on the bottom, arms with hands on the bottom, a torso that's connected, and a head, and really cool shoes. I have all that stuff. So I put on my really cool shoes and I went outside and I ran for about a minute. And then someone told me, you're a runner. A little bit of success is a measure of progress. It's not an indicator that you should change or quit. It's a measurement of progress, and you can do hard things.
Hey everyone, Aisha Felder here. So I lost 100 pounds. Big shout out to ATN. So, you know, a quick story about ATN. I started this accountability group just by myself before I started with Carmen. So, she was one of the people that I just wanted to encourage. And the whole thing was, we will wake up at 6 a.m. on our own machines, like our treadmills, cameras off, but we had to be talking to each other. So early on in my journey, I knew I needed people. I knew I needed somebody, because when she would be up talking to me, or when somebody didn't show up, we would be texting somebody. And so this was all this makeshift way of us staying connected and being accountable to someone else. You would do more for someone else than you'll do for yourself. Accountability is such an important component of this program. And you guys have a gift of having each other to really be accountable for. So, you know, fast forward 12 months and I'm in the running for, and I should have won, but it's okay. I'm not mad that I didn't win, but you know, a Beachbody finalist. And so I'm just so excited to be here. And literally, guys, when I found out that this program worked, let me tell you who I called, Afia Perkins. Literally, she's my diet friend. Like, I lost 30 pounds. And if she didn't know that if I didn't tell her what I was doing when I lost 30 pounds, she's very smart. She's a mathematician, but I think she would try to throw some blows. Like, that's how serious it was about us losing weight. So this journey isn't even about you. If I didn't go through this journey, ATN and Afia would not be in this journey. They literally wouldn't be here. And when Heather talks about how you encourage other people, like literally, it is so much bigger than you. It's so much bigger than you. Every time I see them, I hype them up like nothing else because they are winning this battle. You don't know how many Mondays and Wednesdays of Fia and I tried, we start on Mondays and by Wednesday we were done. So this was the first time that it actually worked for us. And so, I'm from season 4. So literally I've seen all these seasons go through. And I love coming back and I love chatting with you guys because this is like such a very important part. Right now, you are 2 weeks away from the first phase. And I mean, literally, so you're still in competition mode. So everybody should be all geared up to beat whoever's right in front of you. I mean, geared up, do what you need to do, 6-hour windows. Let me get a couple two-day shakes, 2 shakes a day in, because I want to win. Like, you should be competitive. I don't care. I am going to win. But most importantly, what other program is there out there like this? Can somebody tell me a program that's like this? Can somebody tell me another program that has introduced to you a foolproof way of losing weight and keeping it off for you? Not for anybody else, but you did the work. So many times you see people who have lost 100 pounds. Like, I don't see those people like, oh, I can't do that. I'm not doing it. It worked for me. And, it is psychotic to think that you would want to do something else. It's not like the program doesn't work. The program works, but our brain, 99% of the decision that our brain makes protects us from harm. You know what that means? Is once we start feeling the pain, our brain tries to find other ways around it. Oh, well, you know what? I haven't been losing the weight like I used to. Probably because you haven't been following the plan and drinking your water and drinking it and taking your shake and then you're recovering in your containers. But I should probably just get on keto for 2 weeks. No, I like it. That may not be your brain, but at times that would be my brain. Like, let me find something else to do. I'm sure the carbs are the problem. No, Aisha, you're the problem. Until you figure out that you're the problem and realize that you are smart, and your brain is smart enough to follow a plan, and your brain is also smart enough to try to talk you out of something, into something else. And when you try to do something else, guess what that is? It's called an experiment. So when you think about experiments, it's a percentage that is going to work and it's a percentage that it's going to fail. So why do something at this point that you invested in that works? I've never seen a program that has 100% success rate of people losing weight. Like, everybody that does it the right way loses weight. Why would you change it? Why would you change it? Our body is trying to avoid that pain. It's trying to avoid the pain, and I think and it comes at this, you're right at that 12-week mark. And, when you're at that 12-week mark, the biggest problem is you have this false, like, Heather was talking about a little bit of success, feeling yourself. You lost 18 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever you lost, you're feeling yourself and you're like, oh, this is easy. I can do this. I can do this with my eyes closed. I can be off on a Monday and bring it back on Wednesday. How many people said that? Oh, nobody said that. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Nisha. And that's it. And so you got to think about what that's doing to your brain. It's telling your brain that it's okay to cheat. And, I'm sure Carmen talked about that gray area, and then you start feeling comfortable in that gray area. And then that gray area it goes like this. It starts growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. It just starts growing. And so the challenge is, no, thank you. Go. Bringing my charger down. And so, the challenge is all about your foundation. In these 12 weeks, you are building your foundation for life. Because I'm telling you this right now, when you leave this nice, beautiful, safe space with Carmen every week and having access to her and having to check in, you have to build your own devices. You have to build your own accountability system. It'll be a beauty if all you guys still stay connected, but there's choices. People can choose to be with you and choose not to. My season 4 team is not together, which is okay. It's a choice, right? But I have another accountability group. So when you're thinking about that, utilize it. And I mean, you take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Dive in. Don't minimize it. Don't take it for granted, and don't think that you know what you're doing, because you don't know what you are doing yet. You are building this foundation. When you think about habits, and I don't know how many of you all have been struggling with weight loss and, just gaining weight for a long time. How many have struggled with this for a long time? Show of hands, right? So if you think about the duration, some for 20 years, some for 15 years. So you can't figure this out in 3 months. Y'all, if you don't practice and build your house right, you will leave thinking you know more than you know, and then you're off the cliff. You're gonna be summering like Heather. You're gonna be, and the thing about it is, that's how your brain works. It's that comfortability of, man, I'm so, for me, it was all about, I love wine in the evening. What I'm drinking now is called a Topo Chico. It's great mineral water. And so, I have trained my brain at 6 o'clock. That's what I drink. I drink Topo Chicos, and so, because that was a habit I had to break. So when this 12 weeks, you're building this foundation. You're building this foundation. And that's what I really want you guys to really think about. The other thing I want you to think about is that feelings aren't facts. And I'll tell you, this is my favorite saying, is that feelings aren't facts. Feelings are perceived emotions, right? How many times do you wake up and you're like, I don't feel like working out this morning. I said 5 times, I can't do it. Yeah. But after you work out, how do you feel? Fantabuloso, you take that pre-workout, you can go 5 workouts, and so that's how you know feelings aren't facts, they're perceived emotions. So sometimes, you're like, man, what else I don't feel like a shake. I don't know because that's not the plan, right? The plan is to have the shake, and your brain is like, oh, we don't need the shake today. We can just have a protein. Can you have an extra protein? You could have extra protein, but what you're missing out on is extra fiber. You're missing out on the prebiotics. You're missing out on all those supplements that not only keep you fuller longer, but helps push that food through. And if you don't get your shake every day, you're missing out on that opportunity, and you feel different once you miss that shake. And so as you're finishing strong, you got to recognize those negative patterns as they start coming back into play, and then you got to stomp them out. And you got to tell them to stop, and you got to tell them they got to go away. And you got to go back to your why video and say, why am I even doing this? And then, you'll get that call from that person, like Heather said, it's just like, man, Brett, I see you. I see you. And you've encouraged me. So I post online. I started post online. I started becoming a coach under Carmen because it was just so great. It was such a great opportunity to help other people. But when people call me, like some of the older people on Facebook, like, you encourage me so much. They may not be my client, but just me knowing that I'm encouraging somebody who didn't want to get up, and then I'm getting up. So it's so important that as you are finishing strong, it's not just about you. It's about the people around you that you can now say, I can go on a girls trip with the FIA, and we actually do things right now. I can go out with ETN, and we're like, okay, what restaurant are we going to? That is such a joy for somebody to understand what you're going through, and is not going to guilt you into a piece of cake. Or if it is that time for a piece of cake, we're going to share a small piece. So once again, this is my foundation. This isn't a diet. This is my life. Finishing strong is about doing it the right way. Finishing strong is being stronger today than you were 12 weeks ago. And doing it again and again and again until you get it right.
We've touched on a lot of topics tonight, and we're going to open it up just a little bit and ask you, what was your aha? What was your aha? what was in the last 10 weeks the biggest thing so far that you were like those of you all who are Gen X like me, like, oh, I could have had a V8, right? Like, what was the biggest thing that you just went, oh my gosh, I've never thought of it that way, or I've been doing it the hard way, or it really is that simple. What is your biggest aha moment that you've learned from what Carmen has taught you so far?
Well, give a little background. I've worked out a lot. I've done a lot of programs. My wife and I have tried a lot of different ways. It was that the portion control was a little harder to learn than I initially thought it would be. You can't just eat a big salad because a big salad is good for you. It's the right amount in the right portions at the right time. And over the last 4 weeks, I've learned that if I take this plan and split it out over 4 to 5 meals during the day, then I never do get hungry. And then all the other stuff that I've always loved working out. So all the working out and everything else, that energy is just there. And then the minor aha was, for me, I've got to work out first thing in the morning. Otherwise, I will start finding an excuse at the end of the day about why I'm so tired, or the grandkids need this, or it's time to cook dinner, so why work out? So I get the workout done first thing in the morning. But the portion control that's the part that brought it all together and made this work for me.
Well, for me, my biggest aha would also be the portion control and how the vegetables sometimes are not vegetables, they're the yellows. So, it's just, you get to learn, what is best. And I think that would be the biggest one for me. And then mix and match, discover new things that are, even though within, that you can still, like, I like to do the Mexican corn on the cob, the street corn. You can eat a corn with, measure your mayonnaise, tajin is, a little bit of chili, cayenne pepper, and then put some feta cheese or some queso fresco. So you get to, experiment new things within my containers. I cook for a living, so I have to improvise all the time. So for me, that's the biggest aha. And of course, the water. The water, I never thought I don't think ever in my life have I drank a gallon of water a day until now. So that to me is like something super big. And then I had what I call like a lazy leg, where I had like a pinched nerve that went through the front of my leg. So I would call it my lazy leg. So when you start babying one, a part of your body, it starts getting weak. And then what happened with me that 2-3 weeks in, it started being out. 2 or 3 weeks in, it started being a lot better and a lot better and a lot better. Now I call it my strong leg, but so working out, my biggest aha is working out and doing things that I didn't think I would do, like a plank, or I would always do the planks, with my knees. And then all of a sudden, one day I tried to do it, to do a regular plank, and I did it. So those are my biggest ahas on, but I'm very happy to be here. The accountability with everyone in our group is great. And that would be it for me.
Yeah, my biggest aha moment was the containers and just measuring out your food and having the groups together, that it can actually, I thought I was going to starve myself, but it actually, and also the money piece, I thought it would be more expensive buying all this food, but it's actually buying the right foods and eating the right foods. Your body has more energy and you feel better. And the cravings, the cravings for all the other food, like potato chips, I haven't had them in 2 weeks and I don't miss them. So there was pluses to that. And same, like I said, the money piece. I thought, oh, it's so, because everybody says, it's so expensive eating healthy, and it's actually not. It's, you plan it out and it works. And my vegetables last throughout the week, because carrots last for a while, and broccoli and salads. And so that part was a big eye opener for me. And also just, I think water, drinking a gallon of water. I used to always grab a Pepsi and Coke, and drinking water makes you feel better. And it just all around, it just really helps you wash it out or cleanse you, or however you want to say it. But that was a big eye opener for me. I thought I would regret drinking water, but water is more, I love grabbing the water instead of going for juice or iced tea or the sugary drinks. So that was a real eye opener for me as well.
Hey everyone, and thank you for visiting with us today. I always like it when we have new faces. But for me, the biggest aha for me was when Carmen keeps on telling us that we are our worst enemies, that the things we tell ourselves, we can never even tell other people. And so for me, I just got surprised at the negative self-talk I had. I've always thought, I'm a strong person. So even if you tell me stuff, I know how to fight that externally, but that stuff still eats me up internally. And I've just learned how to be my best friend and make goals for myself and just believe the positive things about myself. And then the other thing which I'm forever grateful to Carmen is that I'm pregnant, and I joined the program when I'm 11 weeks. And this is my first pregnancy. And so when I was coming in those 11 weeks, I had been told all terrible things, the headaches, the swelling of the legs and all. I love to walk. And so when I joined the program, I was all swollen. My legs were swollen, my shins were painful, and I couldn't walk. And believe you me, within the first week, all the swelling had gone. Now I'm able to walk over the weekend. Sometimes I do 7 miles and I love it. And it's just finding out how simple things like the food I choose to put to my body and the water I drink can heal me. Going to the doctor, I've always had perfect blood pressure, but the doctor kept on telling me your blood pressure is going up. But within 2-3 weeks, he actually told me to say hi to Carmen. Now, when I go to my doctor, we just talk about vacations because my blood work, my ultrasound, everything is perfect. And I'm in this group of women who are expecting, and I just see all these things they talk about. And I have to remind myself that I'm pregnant because I don't have any of the negative signs. And my baby just started kicking. So that's the only thing that reminds me, oh my God, I'm pregnant, because I don't have any of those negative things. And so even if I never lost weight, although I'm losing weight, the healthy pregnancy, that's it. And that's what I've taken from here.
Good evening, Scholar. That was awesome. Excited. For me, one of my biggest takeaways has been learning how to travel on the program. And I have a great mentor in Aisha who gives me the real talk to follow up Carmen's real talk. And early on, I was like, you mean really take the scale with me on the road? She was like, yeah, like it was the first trip and I left the scale. And she was like, so you had to find one while you're gone. It's not going to work. Take the scale. And so for me, it's been really learning that balance. I travel often. In any given week, I'm on the road and really figuring out how to take my life on the road in the containers. And I have started to get familiar with that. I've actually found it easier to travel and get all my containers in my window and not feel stuffed when I'm on the road than I do at home. It's a little more challenging for me at home because my schedule is different when I'm at home and my eating schedule gets off during the day because meetings happen. But figuring that out and learning how to travel with my scale and figuring out how to manage my yellow containers have been the two biggest things for me. The yellow containers, it has been years since I have eaten carbs consistently, except when I was eating something I shouldn't have, like pizza on a Friday night. Otherwise, I hadn't been on any program that had carbs consistently. So just like I'm learning to love weighing in every day because it gives me information and knowledge is power, I'm learning how to balance out which carbs are good for me instead of the carbs that might taste the best to me, even if they're on the list, because what I'm finding is for my body, even if it's on the list, every carb is not my friend. And as much as I used to love carbs and still do, figuring out how to balance those and learning how to travel with all my pieces has really been different for me. And so I could see it being a long-term life change for me. And after being vegan for 6 years and then coming into a program like this, for me, it was important that it become a lifestyle change. So not a master yet, but definitely being intentional about mastering everything that Carmen is teaching and what my team continues to be very supportive in and coming up with new ways in that creative space. So
okay, so talking about road trips, I never ever thought that we could take a road trip without chips, Cokes, candy in the car. But we did. We drove to San Diego right the second week of this program, and we didn't die. And we talk about money. We used to drive through McDonald's with our son, get a Subway, and he would get those things on this road trip. And I was like, we just saved $30 by not getting that, because Brett and I didn't get it. So I never thought that this would be cheaper, that it would be less expensive to eat healthy, but it is. It totally is. And another thing, the shakes. When I was 18, Oprah was on OptiFast, and I did OptiFast, and that's 3 shakes a day, and I think a salad at night. And the whole time since the decades since then, I said I would never do a shake again, ever, because I was so burned out. But I did not realize how delicious the shakes are. Every time I'm like, when am I going to burn out on these? Never. And so that was a real revelation. So I don't think we're ever going to stop drinking those shakes. Why? They're delicious. So anyway, and the accountability, I didn't realize how much I would be relying on the team aspect, but it keeps knowing that I will have to confess something the next day to everyone it would make me feel like really guilty. Like you said, the alternative to this is just shame and guilt and fatigue and everything else. So it really keeps me on track, knowing that someone else is doing great. I need to do great. I don't want to let anyone down. Like you said, we do stuff for other people more than we do for ourselves. So that was a real revelation too.
Hello. My biggest aha moment was realizing that I can actually eat carbs and lose weight. That was one that I assumed that you couldn't eat carbs and lose weight. So that was a huge shocker to me. And then also realizing, like ATN said, like which carbs works for me. And then what time of day is best to eat them. So that was a shocker. And also, I feel the same as Scholar, like realizing that I can actually lose weight pregnant. I didn't even really think that was possible, I was kind of aiming high and it worked. So those were my 2 biggest takeaways. Oh, and my third one I had is actually realizing that I can work out for 30 minutes a day and still lose weight. I assumed that you needed to work out for about 3-4 hours and lift weights and really push. And I'm like, wow, 30 minutes and I'm seeing these type of results. So that's another aha moment.
My biggest aha moment was realizing how intertwined timing and eating are for me. My body naturally wakes up at 5 a.m. no matter what, but I've never had breakfast. I always push out lunch, and that's when I fall off the wagon and I want a snack. I also realized if I eat carbs late in the day, it's not good for me, my body anyway. And like just really eating. I need to eat breakfast and I need to eat lunch. Otherwise, I'm just set up to fail. So eating on time is good for me.
This is great, guys. This is all great information. You know what to do. You know how your body responds to what you're doing. You know everything that you've been taught so far, that it works. And you have 2 weeks left of this phase. And here are some choice words that we've heard from Carmen time and time again. You didn't come this far to only come this far. You get there by choice, not by chance. Food is fuel, and it is future poop. And we find that the best chance of getting results are while you're in the program. So do the work, stay thankful, stay grateful. Think about why you're here. Why are you here? Watch your why videos. Watch the other episodes that have already aired. You know, read your journals. All these things. Just keep going back to your why. I had to go back to my why like a week ago, and I've been doing this for over a year. And I don't say that as disappointment. I say that as encouragement. You know, the fact that we can keep going. Just remember the why, keep going. You can do hard things. You already do them. You have done them, but now keep doing them. And along the lines of of the worst thing about success is a little bit. It's like, as you're starting to see success, don't hit the brakes, hit the gas. Hit the gas and make these next 2 weeks the best 2 weeks of your life.